Hi all, a very good afternoon. Thank you for having taken the time to join me in today's webinar. This is Jay, product expert from the AD Solutions team of ManagerGen. Alright, so today's topic is going to be on linked mailbox management, and what we'll be discussing is something really exciting. We are going to be talking about 5 tricks that can completely simplify your linked mailbox management. That's going to be the topic of discussion today. So before we get into today's workshop or webinar, what I want you to know is a recording of the session can be emailed to you right after the session gets over. All you gotta do is just drop your email ID on the chat. And as regards to the questions that are coming up, feel free to make use of the chat window and shoot your questions right at me. I'd be more than happy to take your questions as and when they come. All right, so that being said, we are all set for today's webinar, and it's going to be on 5 tricks to simplify linked mailbox management. Getting into the agenda for the day, let's start off by understanding as to why Active Directory and Exchange management go hand in hand. For long, Microsoft has worked the architecture out in that way. So, linked mailboxes are something that come in handy when an organization is going through a phase like probably consolidation, when the organization is going through a demerger, or say for example the organization is moving from one branch to another, or there's an sub organization being acquired. A lot of possible permutations and combinations. Yes, I do agree. So what's the idea behind having linked mailboxes in place? Pretty simple, straightforward, just to give the organization a stronghold or a heads up on what's to come and how to go on managing their mailboxes for an uninterrupted communication across the organization. That's the crux behind having linked mailbox in place. So that being said, the most obvious prerequisite is having a trust relationship between the forests under consideration. Say, for example, the organization under consideration is acquiring a new organization, so it's pretty obvious that there's going to be another forest. The first and foremost step that the administrator has to ensure is a transitive two-way trust relationship between the two forests for the linked mailboxes to work effortlessly. So that being said, we'll be taking a look at how to go about and make use of ADManager Plus to get linked mailboxes created, configured, set up in one single go, just like that. So for this, we'd be talking about something called as templates, and these templates are going to help you standardize how you go on creating linked mailboxes. So that is the first and foremost product level feature we'll be talking when it comes to linked mailboxes. Yes, given the fact that PowerShell indeed is powerful, no doubt, hands down, PowerShell is powerful. And for something as complex as linked mailbox creation, can PowerShell be of any help? Yes, indeed, it can be of any help. But then what's the downside? Coding or having a PowerShell script written to have every single phase of the linked mailbox creation in hand done rightly is the biggest disadvantage as regards to PowerShell scripts are concerned. What am I talking about right here? So the first and foremost requirement for the linked mailboxes to work effortlessly or work fine is having Active Directory accounts in the second forest as well, having those accounts created, having those accounts disabled, creating mailboxes for them, getting back to the first forest, having the accounts from the first forest linked to the disabled user accounts mailbox in the second forest. Does it not sound complex already? That's the whole deal. So on top of it, if you were to write PowerShell scripts for something as complex as this, it's going to get a lot more tedious, and obviously it's going to be time consuming. Chances are pretty high that you might mess up something. So to overcome all of that, to overcome the downsides of PowerShell scripting, to overcome the idea of getting the linked mailboxes done quickly, we've got templates in place. We'll be talking about that and understanding how templates are going to be super helpful. All right, going further, we'll also be talking about how the linked mailboxes can go on not just to be created in one single go, but also There's provision to add custom attributes as per your organizational requirements. Say, for example, you have a specific set of attributes that pertain to a mailbox in your native setup, and you want those attributes to be linked to your linked mailbox as well. Worry not, you can have those custom attributes set, configured, and in place. The next obvious question that would come up in your mind is, if custom attributes are going to be possible, are custom scripts also a part of the functionality? Yes, definitely. Configuring custom scripts and running them right after a linked mailbox creation is going to be a piece of cake with the templates. So that is what we'll be discussing in the third point for the day. Going further, we'll also understand how to customize linked mailboxes properties in terms of the storage limits that they offer and the delivery restrictions that come along with the linked mailboxes. So we'll be talking about all those critical mailbox property related attributes which otherwise need to be managed manually right after the linked mailbox is created, probing into the mailbox every single time. For every single property, you've got to go on and write new lines of code, have to go on and run PowerShell scripts. So the biggest and the most uh, you know uh, disadvantage, the disadvantage that takes a toll on all the administrators is the lack of a GUI or a graphical user interface to have your linked mailbox managed. So no clue as to why Microsoft has not come up with a GUI for something as important as this. But then that's all right. That's where we come in and help you get that done. So the last bit of today's session is going to be on fine-grained mailbox delegation. When it comes to delegation, yes, again, we will be helping you with all sorts of delegation, be it full write access or send as or send on behalf. All of those permissions are going to be effortlessly managed through the system that we are offering. So we are talking about an all-in-all system of linked mailbox management, right from creation, not just creation, getting the creation done right in one go, and that too at the very first time. That's going to be the crux of today's session. All right, that's the session agenda. What are the native tool downsides? I already mentioned there's no graphical user interface. Setting up a mailbox is of great difficulty because there's no GUI from where you can specify the attributes. So that's the first big disadvantage. Going further, another big challenge that administrators face is the planning or the quantum of effort that's involved in manually making sure that every aspect of the mailbox, the account, the disablement, all of that is in place at the right time, at the right moment. So that is the biggest second challenge. Going further, PowerShell scripting, like I already told you, is super complex. I'm going to go ahead and show you a sample PowerShell script so that you understand as to why I keep repeating that it's complex. What do we have right here? We've got a sample PowerShell script for Exchange. In this case, this is said to be a simple PowerShell script, but then what's into it? It's just the basic attribute being created, just the master account being linked. What about the other attributes that are supposed to be a part of the mailbox? So if someone were to make sure and have a full-fledged linked mailbox created, the line is going to go on. So that is the biggest first challenge. And yes, like you can already see, the process is tedious. You create a transitive relationship, you go on and have users created in the second forest or the new forest, have them disabled, have them provisioned the other way around. It's going to go on. And yes, like you can see, PowerShell script is complex like this, the one that's listed right here. So what are we coming up with? We are coming up with a simple template that can help you come over all of these said disadvantages, because the layout is pretty simple, self-explanatory, graphical, getting to help you to do the exact same task that you wish to proceed. So during any critical migration, the most important concern that keeps going in your organization is uninterrupted email conversation. And during acquisitions or consolidations, you definitely want linked mailboxes to get into your Exchange environment, just so that there is a centralized way for your company to manage your mailboxes. So that is more like a slam dunk. With no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you a case, get into how linked mailbox management becomes effortless with ADManager Plus. So, meanwhile, for those of you who want to try out the product, what you can do is you can always log in to demo.admanagerplus.com, and you can also log in as the administrator to try out all the features just in case you have any further queries. Yes, like I always tell you, I am available at the chat to take all your questions. I've already started getting questions. That's great. All right, so we are going to go ahead and talk about AD management, and in this case, it's going to be mailbox management. So what do we have right here? At this point in time, we were already supporting shared mailbox, room mailbox, and equipment mailbox based on the number of frequent feature requests that we had got. We had gone ahead and created linked mailbox creation module as well. So what are we going to witness today? We are going to be talking about single linked mailbox creation, and I'm going to give you a heads up, or more like a sneak peek. The development team is working towards having bulk mailboxes created as well. So the way forward is that. So we are going to be talking about single mailbox creation now. So what do we have? We've got the layout that I showed a while back on my presentation deck. So we've got a simple layout. Let me quickly walk you through as to what are the elements of the layout. The first and foremost tab is the General tab. The General tab is the one that holds the attributes that are specific to that linked mailbox that you're going to create in terms of the display name, the description, the logger name, and most important of them all, the master account to which the linked mailbox has to be created. So if you can notice, all right, there's a provision to select the domain. As you rightly guessed, there has to be two domains configured with ADManager Plus. That's because a transitive trust relationship has to be established between the two domains, and the mailboxes can be gone on and created in any of them. In this case, I'm willing to create a mailbox in this new domain. So my native domain is mslink10.com, and the one in which I'm planning to create my link mailboxes, the one that has my exchange server, the forest that holds the exchange server, is mse1.com. So the default domain that's selected right here is this. All right, so you've got a quick overview as to what domains signify right here, and you've also got to understand as to what the General tab can do for you. Going further, the Contact tab will help you set up details as pertaining to your organization's telephone, address, contact details, pretty much. Yes. And when it comes to the template value right here, you can go on and choose to customize the template based on your requirements. So if you're planning to create a template for the HR department, you can specify the department or the role and go on to finish off the configuring template. And when you come to Exchange, this is the most critical tab of them all. We've discussed how to go on and configure the General tab and the Contact tab, and when it comes to Exchange, that's where you get to specify the topics that I was discussing about. So we are trying to have a fine-grained mailbox delegation. That's one. We are trying to customize the properties and also add custom attributes. So getting back, the topics that are going to be discussed are under these tabs. So the first one is going to be the one on exchange management. So here, when it comes to exchange configuration, pretty simple. The application gets your probing done. Here we've got all the mailboxes servers in place. You can choose whichever one you want as per your requirement. In this case, I'm going to pretty much go with the first one that's available. All right. And when it comes to mailbox store, yes, again, all of them are going to be discovered as well and written in format for you. So here we've gone ahead and specified a creation option. So this is the manual way of doing it, and here is the advantage where the product seems to be the clear winner over your native way of doing it. And what is that? So when I want to go on and configure all of this, instead of manually filling out all this, what if I have a template just like the user creation template modules that we have? So pretty simple and straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and select one of the templates that I had already created for the marketing department and hit OK. So what do we see? we see that the container pertaining to that department has already been populated. It says marketing, and the description also very clearly reads mailbox for marketing stuff. Going further, we are able to see that there are other attributes filled out as well as per my requirement. I can go on and show you every attribute. Here, the mail server is contributed rightly because it's specific to the marketing department. The store settings are also made right. Down deep, we're able to see that there is a provision to set the storage limit for that specific ID. So additional email addresses can be added right here, and their storage limits can be added in terms of megabytes right here. When it comes to the delivery restrictions, there are multiple options that are available. You can choose to send messages by using the default size limit, or you can also choose to customize them. You can choose to accept or reject. So pretty much you can create a filter for the linked mailbox, which otherwise would have been impossible right here from the console within just a few clicks. And also there is a provision to link your mailbox for forwarding and reception as well. When it comes to the policies, if you're running on Exchange 2010, 13 or 16, no worries at all. The sharing, role assignment, retention and active sync policies are already in place. So the ones that are listed right here. What do we see right here? The policies are available. And when it comes to the protocol that's got to be followed, be it IMAP, POP3 or Outlook Web Access, OWA, all of that can be enabled or disabled as per your requirement. So this tab right here is going to help you get hold of everything starting from storage limit to delivery details to restrictions that you want to establish. And when it comes to delegation, this is where you get to say who gets what access. So if in case it's the marketing department, Dwayne is the head of the marketing department and he'd want a full access into the mailboxes. So Dwayne is a part of the full access group. So you can also go on and had send on behalf or grant permissions for send as yes. And when it comes to custom attributes, how important are custom attributes? How important are custom attributes? So custom attributes pretty much help you do two things. One, they get your mailbox configured as per your requirement. Yes, post configuration you can go on and run a script that is going to help you do a task that is relevant to what can be done. So here, right after linked mailbox creation, I'd want another task to be triggered. And what could that ideally be? A task like having my user accounts mailboxes created, post that having storage limit set, and then the users who are being onboarded into the linked mailboxes being notified with the very same details. So what do we have right here? We've got a provision to set and run custom scripts on successful mailbox creations. And there is also a provision for custom configuring an attribute. Like I told you during the introduction, for those of you who want custom attributes to be configured, you can do that pretty much straight, simple, and easily by specifying what attributes are added to Active Directory into your admin settings and having those exchange related attributes configured right here. So that is all about it. So when I say hit OK. The email alias is a field that is mandatory and it can't be left empty. So getting back to the Exchange tab, I'll have to go on and fill the email alias. All right. So here I haven't created a user yet. I've just been walking you through the whole process of linked mailbox creation. I'm going to quickly go back and show you how user creation actually works. So here, which is the user for who I want to create a linked mailbox. So I can quickly look up for a user who's already available in the organization. And that's the master account to which I'd want the linking to happen. Let's say I want Steven. All right, so let me look up for a user who's available in my organization. From the list that is available right here, I can pick and choose. I can also go on and link the mailbox for those accounts that have been created recently using linked mailbox. So here it is going to be a part of the MS link domain, for which I'm going to go ahead and see if Bella is a part of the MS Link domain. Yes, I got it right. So Bella is again a part of the MS Link domain. The marketing department is also specified. The display name for that specific user is going to be Bella. And the mailbox, like you can see, is for the marketing staff. So that attribute of the mailbox is already configured. So I can also choose to specify the office details, enter the telephone number, have the linked mailbox launched or logged in, and the member of is going to be the domain users. So the container is selected right as well, which is the marketing department. Going further, from the contacts tab, I can choose to edit the title as per my requirement. Here I'm going to just say manager. Let's see if I have a marketing manager role. Okay, yes, I do. I'm going to go ahead and select marketing, and I can choose to select marketing here as well. So it depends upon how you go on and configure the template. The manager is already selected. Exchange alias is something that's got to be filled out. So I'm going to go ahead and say Bella Swenson. That's filled out. Do I need to configure anything else? Not really. Pretty much everything is configured. Let's see how the mailbox gets created, the linked mailbox. So initially it was just Bella's account in the mslink.com. Now there's got to be a disabled account that's created in msc1.com. So you might be wondering as to why it's taking a while. That's because the process associated with linked mailbox creation is indeed a tedious and back-to-back multi-threaded process. So here the trust relation is in place. The user has to get created in the new domain. The user's account has to be disabled. The mailbox has to be created, and that mailbox has to be mapped to the old user or the native user, and your result will be available in a while. So while we wait, there are certain things that I'll want you to know. Oh, great. The linked mailbox has been successfully created. So what would you ideally want to know at this point in time? You'd want to probe in and check if the linked mailbox is rightly created. That's an obvious thing. So I'm going to go ahead and look up for Bella and check if Bella is a part of both of the domains. Perfect. So Bella Swenson, who is a part of the mailbox from mslinkedin.com, has a linked mailbox in this specific MSE1 domain as well. And like you can see, her attributes are configured, or to say pre-configured. Here the description is filled out, the OU is filled out. Bella has an account, and when I get to account, this is what I'd want you to notice. The account is disabled, by which it means the linked mailbox creation process is successful. When I get to the contact tab, I can see that her properties are also filled out. So this way I can go on and have a mailbox created in less than what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And the more mailbox you create or higher you scale up, the easier the process is going to become. That's because you'll have pretty much multiple templates. All right, so here we are talking about linked mailbox management, and what we saw user creation using linked mailbox. So here we are going to be talking about linked mailbox creation templates. Like I was telling you, you can pretty much solve any of your linked mailbox O's by having these templates configured as per your requirements. So here we have a template for the finance department, one for the marketing, one for the sales, and yes, you can go on and configure as many number of templates as you choose. So linked mailbox creation templates are done and dusted. I'm going to get back to the presentation and talk about a few more things. How to perform all of these tasks we've discussed pretty detailed. There is certain general other information that you might find useful when it comes to linked mailbox creation. So now that ADManager Plus has your linked mailbox created, and you just got to see that the whole process was done in a few clicks. Once you've understood or mastered the process, having any of the attributes in ADManager Plus or any of the modules in ADManager Plus handle is going to be pretty much simple. We just saw mailbox management, where we were talking about linked mailbox creation and mailbox templates. So if you'd want to go on and probe into any of these mailbox managements like a shared mailbox, we can pretty much get into it and just get to understand that every aspect of the management when it comes to mailbox are almost the same when it comes to the product configuration. Yes, so AD management, linked mailbox management is simplified, done and dusted for you. So today, what did we discuss? Today's topic was an interesting, simple, and straightforward topic. We were talking about 5 tricks to simplify linked mailbox creation. So, the 5 tricks are listed right here. We started off by understanding as to how to create linked mailboxes in a single console from a single console in one go by without using PowerShell scripts. So that was the first and foremost trick that we saw. The next one was to make use of the templates to standardize the linked mailbox properties. So just to make sure that you understand that once more, I'm going to go ahead and brief you. Templates can be created for different departments. Attributes can be pre-specified and created. So that way you have a standard in place. And when it comes to personalizing each of the mailboxes, yes, custom attributes can be configured and custom scripts can be run. Custom attributes as in the ones that are pertaining to your exchange environment, and custom scripts the ones that have to be run when the mailbox creation is done, the linked mailbox creation is done. So customizing that using custom scripts, yes, that's possible. And properties, like I told you, storage and delivery restrictions can be put in place as per the requirement. And finally, the last one that we saw was delegating it right. So it can be a full access, it can be send as permission or send on behalf permission. All right, so that is going to be linked mailbox management templates for you. So I like to call ADManager Plus the essential toolkit for effective management for this very reason. It can get your entire AD management and the ones that are associated with it, which is Exchange management and Office 365 management, also done in one simple go. So this is Jay from Manage Engine for you. In case you have any questions, please feel to make the chat window and have the questions shot right at me. I'll take the questions now. If in case you want to contact me, you can contact me at j@manageengine.com. Thank you once again for having taken the time. You all have a great day.